Welcome to the Think Forward podcast, where we speak with futurists, innovators, and big thinkers. Come along with your host, Steve Fisher, and explore the future together.
Welcome back to Foundations and Foresight, a Think Forward series. I'm Steve Fisher, and today we're diving deep into a powerful foundational principle from the transform model, being guided by natural transformations. And in our last episode, we introduced the transform model, exploring how it provides a structured approach to navigating supershifts and adapting effectively in the age of intelligence. Today, we're taking a closer look at how nature itself offers profound insights into mastering change. You might be wondering, why look to nature for strategic insight? Here's the thing. Nature has perfected the art of adaptation and transformation over billions of years. Ecosystems constantly face disruptions, from floods and wildfires to climate fluctuations, yet they manage not only to survive, but also to thrive and become even more resilient afterward. So, what can we learn from these natural systems? How can we apply those insights to our personal, professional, and organizational strategies? Let's start by understanding what we mean by natural transformations. Natural transformations refer to processes where ecosystems or organisms fundamentally reorganize themselves in response to disruptions. Rather than merely surviving or bouncing back to the previous state, these systems often transform completely, entering entirely new states of equilibrium. Take a forest after a wildfire. At first glance, it's easy to see the event as destructive, but look closer and you'll find nature leveraging this disruption. Certain plant species have seeds specifically designed to germinate after exposure to intense heat. The removal of dense tree canopies allows new species to gain sunlight, sparking rapid biodiversity growth. Animals return, ecosystems flourish, and the forest evolves into a stronger, more diverse habitat. This isn't just resilience, it's anti-fragility, a system improving itself through stressors and disruption. Nature doesn't aim to return to an old normal. It continually evolves to something even stronger. Let's apply this principle to the business world. Consider how companies historically respond to market disruptions. Typically, organizations focus on restoring what was lost, attempting to revert to their pre-disruption state. But the companies that truly excel, those that become market leaders, view disruptions differently. Take Netflix as a prime example. Netflix initially started as a DVD rental company. When streaming technology emerged, traditional companies, notably Blockbuster, dismissed streaming as merely another distribution channel, a temporary trend rather than a structural shift. Netflix, however, saw a larger systemic transformation unfolding, similar to a natural ecosystem responding to environmental changes. They understood that streaming wasn't merely an incremental technological improvement, it was a profound transformation in how media was consumed. By embracing this shift early, Netflix fundamentally transformed itself, becoming synonymous with streaming and revolutionizing an entire industry. Blockbuster, in contrast, attempted to preserve their existing model, misunderstanding the true nature of the disruption, and ultimately became obsolete. What Netflix intuitively tapped into, and what natural systems consistently demonstrate, is the principle of continuous adaptation through disruption. It's not about maintaining your original state, but about evolving into something new, stronger, and better aligned with emerging realities. Another powerful example is the energy sector. Traditional energy companies face significant disruption from renewable technologies and environmental pressures. Many businesses viewed renewables as threats to their existing assets. Yet, forward-looking companies saw opportunities to embrace natural transformations. By investing in solar, wind, and other renewable energies, these companies turned disruption into growth, becoming key players in a new sustainable energy landscape. This approach mirrors natural ecosystems where diversity is crucial. In ecosystems, diversity isn't just beneficial, it's essential. Diverse ecosystems are inherently stronger and more resilient because they have multiple pathways for recovery and adaptation. Similarly, organizations with diverse perspectives, diverse skill sets, and diverse resources are more resilient and innovative, better able to withstand disruptions and seize new opportunities. But applying natural transformation insights doesn't stop at business strategy. It also reshapes how we approach problem solving. For example, many urban areas are now adopting natural transformation principles through green infrastructure and urban resilience projects. Cities like Copenhagen and Singapore integrate green roofs, urban forests, and floodplain restoration to address climate challenges, leveraging natural processes to increase resilience against climate-related disruptions. Rather than simply building higher flood walls or stronger levees, they're using natural systems to manage water, mitigate flood risks, and enhance urban livability simultaneously. Now, how can you apply these natural principles to your daily decision-making? First, adopt ecosystem thinking. Recognize your organization or your personal career path not as isolated from external forces, but as part of a broader, interconnected system. Look carefully at relationships, dependencies, and opportunities to collaborate or adapt dynamically. Second, encourage diversity in every form: ideas, experiences, skills, and perspectives. Diverse systems are resilient systems. The greater the diversity, the better you can respond to disruptions and discover new pathways for innovation and growth. Third, cultivate a culture of experimentation. Nature constantly experiments. Similarly, embrace a culture of strategic experimentation within your organization. This could involve rapid prototyping, piloting new ideas, and encouraging a willingness to pivot based on early outcomes. This agile approach prepares you to quickly adapt and thrive amid uncertainty. Next, anticipate second and third order consequences of changes. Natural transformations often reveal interconnected ripple effects. Understanding these can give you a strategic advantage, allowing you to prepare for potential challenges or opportunities before they become obvious to competitors. Finally, leverage the principle of self-organization. Natural systems aren't centrally controlled. They adapt through local decentralized interactions among multiple actors. Encouraging autonomy, decentralization, and empowerment in your team or organization allows resilience and innovation to emerge naturally. Here's your challenge today. Identify a disruption in your industry, organization, or even personal life. Instead of viewing it as something negative, reframe it by asking yourself, what if this disruption is the wildfire that will germinate new opportunities for growth? What new pathways might emerge if I embrace rather than resist this change? Taking this mindset into your strategic thinking will position you ahead of change rather than behind it. As we continue exploring the Transform model, our next episode dives into the power of positive sum outcomes. We'll discover why collaboration often triumphs over competition and how building partnerships that benefit everyone can become your strategic superpower in the age of intelligence. Until then, stay curious, stay adaptive, and always think forward.
Thanks for listening to the Think Forward podcast. You can find us on all the major podcast platforms and at www.thinkforwardshow.com, as well as on YouTube under Think Forward Show. See you next time.